I'm Jane Mountrose, and I'm here with my wonderful friend and companion for exploring all things spiritual. And we haven't been together for a while, so I'm really delighted to have Gretchen Comer with me today. We help awakening souls like you to increase your emotional and spiritual intelligence by accessing your full range of resources. And they include the kinds of things that we present in this podcast, working with tarot and oracle cards, connecting with angels, masters, guides, going into the Akashic Records, all those things that are so exciting and fun for us, anyhow. So, our goal really is to live life to the fullest and evolve and grow in magical and mystical ways. One part of this, really, for us is being in tune with what's happening in the world and astrologically what's happening around us. Today, we're going to actually explore manifestation, and we're going to do it in kind of conjunction, if there are conjunctions, in conjunction with an astrological event that's occurring right now, which is the Lionsgate portal. This portal it's one of those big events. They used to be really esoteric, but now if you look them up online, I found something about it in on the Today magazine website. it's, it's out there, which is really great.
Yep.
Anyhow, in astrological terms, it's an alignment of the sun, the star Sirius, which is the brightest star seen from Earth, and a star that both Gretchen and I resonate with quite a bit. The constellation of Orion's belt and the Earth. So it's a huge alignment, and it's said to be an optimal time for manifestation, which is where all of that comes together here. And of course, any time is a good time to focus on manifestation. So whenever you're listening to this, it's appropriate. We'll discuss the Lionsgate more and manifestation more. And as usual, we'll explore the whole thing with a tarot reading and a special meditation for gaining more insights as we reach more deeply into our awareness and focus on the topic of manifestation, how important it is, what it means to us, and we'll get insights from the reading. We'll also visit, Gretchen and I will visit the Akashic Records for the collective and see what other insights there might be for us at this time. And then, that's not all. We're going to, with the reading, we're going to do mini readings for viewers as time allows. And we usually do those at the end. So stay tuned. They're short, but I think that for me, what I notice with the readings is it doesn't take like a huge 10-part reading for it to be profound and provide something that we can use to enhance our experience of life. So, so that's basically it. I do need to bring up the chat so I can see if anybody joins us. And okay, so Gretchen, one other thing, we always like to breathe when we enter into this space, just taking a moment to breathe in the most amazing light from the universe and grounding yourself in the now so that we can be present for this experience. And of course, I'm thanking everyone for joining us. Here's Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. And now, Gretchen, I'd like to turn to you and ask you to share a bit about your perspective on Lionsgate, on manifestation. You have a good choice of things.
Sure. Well, this is usually a very intense time for a lot of people. And, years ago when I was not really consciously aware of what Lionsgate was or, anything like that, I've always noticed that summer, and especially August, there's a lot of energy in the month of August. And maybe that's because kids are getting ready to go back to school. And so there's this new energy, this fresh energy kind of coming in. Summer is winding down and we're less than a month away. We're 5 weeks away or so from the turn of the season. And so it kind of feels like there is this push at the end of the summer. It does heighten, even though we are losing daylight every day.
Yeah.
And the sun's energy is waning a little bit. You can still feel it really strongly. And for me, it is a time of intensity usually. And I remember feeling this when I was younger, not really realizing that there were astrological and astronomical reasons for it. But for me, it is a very intense time of spiritual healing. And from this past week, for me personally, it has been. But I noticed that it's also a time of growth. It's when we're under the sign of Leo, there's a lot of power and strength and courage that comes forth with the sign of Leo. And as a result, it enhances our manifestation processes. It makes it your efforts seem effortless during this time, which is so wonderful. So we talk a lot about on this show about working with the rhythms of nature. And this is another one of those natural rhythms where if we can use it and align ourselves with this time, it becomes a lot more effortless. And then we're in the flow. You know, we talk a lot about being in the flow with ease, and this is another way to do that. And for me, it's a wonderful time for manifestation. And so you know, the importance of that is it revalidates that we have the power to create what we want in our life. You know, so the fact people say,
Right.
well, what do I want to manifest? Why would I manifest? Well, it's a wonderful energy to be able to create what you want in your life and to create your life the way you want. And essentially, no one's going to do that for you. So it puts us fully in the driver's seat, and that energy with Leo behind it, the lion, it really gives us a lot more power and strength that we don't need to pull from our own reserves. We're actually aligning with the natural rhythm by doing this, and that helps us. It helps kind of bolster and give us more energy. What I really love about this particular portal is 8, the 8 symbol, and the symbol of 8, because turned on its side, it's the infinity symbol. And you know, for me, that's a strong component of manifestation, is that it's this continuous flow of energy. And so it's a beautiful way of looking at it on some level, because you're seeing the power and strength in this infinite loop. And that's essentially what we can put ourselves on, is in that beautiful path of knowing that it's going to happen, and then setting our intent, and then it does happen. So it just repeats and revalidates all of those feelings we have about, oh, I don't know if I can do this, and you know, I don't know if I can really manifest what I want in my life. But you can, and it's a great way for us to bring in more of that energy and just work with the energy that's available to us. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I love when well I love personally validating that I can be in the flow with the divine. You know, I can be in the flow with life with joy and ease. And of course, the Lion's Gate provides an opportunity to be in the flow as creators more fully. Probably maybe one of the fullest times of the whole year for being in that flow with creativity. Um, but we always have that opportunity of being in the flow and opening to the infinite, and recognizing that the divine lives within us always, not just on these special days.
Right.
Although, and that's not to say, well, gee, August 8th, which is the height of Lionsgate, is a special day. It doesn't. I'm not trying to poo-poo that. Um, I think it's also important not for us not to look at ourselves as victims of the forces that are around us, because we're actually also in Mercury retrograde at the same time, which is kind of a contrast. And we're dealing with both of those energies in the same moment. So I see Sharon is here. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Anyhow, I think for me also, the idea of being a creator and the understanding that we are here to create life at its fullest. It always is enlivening to me and exciting. And I think maybe do you think we can start the reading now? Is it too early?
Sure.
Along with that, I was thinking of, also because it's supposed to be magical and mystical, and that also makes me think of opening to that childlike wonder, because that helps us to go beyond. Gretchen was mentioning those thoughts like, can I really do this, all of that stuff. Just be in that state of childlike wonder. So I got out the inner child cards, and I was thinking there's actually in the guidebook for which it's a tarot deck. I don't hear much about it, but it really is a beautiful deck. The cards are
Mhm.
just gorgeous and
Mhm.
so magical, child. It's just
Yeah.
magical. Um, so I was looking at the wishing well or tarot reading, which is in there, and it suggests imagining that you're standing in front of a wishing well, and you draw a card that is supporting you wherever you are now in relation to whatever your dreams are. And so I was looking at it and going through so I was dividing out the major arcana cards, thinking, well, this is a major event, use major arcana, major patterns at play. And I came across the one which I'm going to we'll use as our central focus, um, which is called the wishing well. And it's the star, also the star in the Star Tarot for those who know the star. And it's that idea of wishing upon a star also. So all of that comes together in this card. You can see how wonderful these inner child cards are. they just stimulate something special, I think. And it brings up another point that when doing a reading like this, you can do whatever you want. It says draw a card. Well, I decided when I saw it, I said, that's the card. If you feel that, use it. you can do it however you want to do it. So we're doing it our way. And I'm going to try to bring, I have the other video. I have another camera here so you can see it better, hopefully. And there's that beautiful wishing well card. So I can always also go to speaker view, which should make it bigger. And there, so I can see, there it is. Just trying to get it up on my screen. And there we are. so Gretchen, before I describe the card anymore, any thoughts about that wishing well card and
Oh,
wishing upon a
I
star?
love this. I mean, there's an effortless. I love how it's the person is standing on their tiptoe on the little boost up. It looks like a little stump or something. Just very carefree and just,
Right.
dropping a coin in the well. I love that. The whole card seems very carefree, and I'm also struck by the bird on top. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could look in the book and see if I can see if it mentions what that means, the bird.
Mhm.
It says something about, I don't see actually where it mentions the bird per se. There are several pages, so it can take a
Right.
while. But it mentions opening to heavenly influences, and I always think of birds as being
Mhm.
uh
It looks like a dove. Yeah,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
white
like
dove.
they're standing between us. They're kind of between us, uh between heaven and earth, so that they can help us to raise our perspective on things. Yeah. Anyhow, we're going to use another deck for a couple more cards, and I'm going to read actually about the star from the Star Tarot from that one, because it has a very simple
Mhm.
description. It says the star is a yes card to questions asked. So, like, is this a good time for manifestation? The answer is yes. Reflect on your dreams. The card indicates wishes coming through the cosmic communication between you and the stars. It also asks you to look deeply into your self care routine, as it can bring healing and rejuvenation. You mentioned that too, Gretchen,
Mhm.
healing and growth with this. The card encourages you to listen to your intuition as you travel the journey of love of self and love of spirit. Be creative in everything you do and follow your heart to gain inspiration. Let your intuition guide you on a path of healing and creativity. Beautiful.
Mhm.
So from there, the next part then I don't know what's going on over there. There's all kinds of stuff going on my computer here. What I want to do is draw a card to put on each side of the wishing well card. And the first one is, and this is for us collectively. All of this whole reading is for us collectively to begin. And the first one, which I'm going to put to the left, is what we need to know about this. I'm going to draw that from the Moon and Stars Tarot. So I kind of fan the cards out and see what stands out as being the next thing. I'm going to draw both cards. There's what we need to know, and then how we can do it is the second one. So that goes there. And here's what we need to know. And the card is the Queen of Wands, and it says charisma. So let me see what it says in the book about the Queen of Wands. This is this deck is very simple, which is one thing I like about it. It has the name of the card, and then it has one keyword. That keyword is not like the whole thing. The keywords also that are mentioned in the book are luck, passion, and leader. This queen is a hub of feminine passion. And of course, the wand suit is our aliveness. It is the energy that we create with. So being the queen of that means that it is the divine feminine aspect of it that we're embracing. She holds great wisdom and power, bringing fun and laughter wherever she goes. She is a social butterfly who attracts the attention of everyone she meets with her charisma. She brings luck to situations as she commits unconditionally and asks you to do the same. This card represents a feminine influence or self-expression. Let your intuition lead you to like-minded souls. That's the moon message, it says in the this is the Moon and Stars Tarot. So what do you think, Gretchen?
I think it's beautiful, and I think it aligns with the energy of this portal and just the time of year and the fact that we're in Leo. I think it's really just saying we need to be a little assertive, and have some charisma about it, use our charisma to manifest what we want in our lives. Now is the time. Now is the time. I think it goes along with the major arcana card in the middle, the star. I feel like that it goes along with that. Now is the time,
Right. Right. And it also it kind of answers that question, well, can I do this? Or
right.
Is it, is this just another waste of time or something? It's really, it is about embracing the things that inspire you, the things that bring passion, which is your purpose, your reason for being alive. So very meaningful and really pretty too.
It's very pretty card too.
Yeah. And these are, of course, that's part of it. So then how you can do it. And the card is interesting. This is another wands card. So there's a lot of life force in the whole thing. The star, that's a lot of light. Queen of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Wands here. And this one says it's about resilience. I can read what it says in the book. This card can signify a need to stand up for your own beliefs. And I do love it for that. It is that time of not allowing other people to distract you from the things that are bringing life to your, making you feel alive. Challenges and conflicts will present themselves, but you must take the moral high ground and act with dignity. I love that word too. That's a word, a guiding force for me, dignity. You have the courage to stand up for what's right, both for yourself and for those who struggle to defend themselves. If you are searching for a job, persevere. If you are in a relationship, don't let your partner walk all over you. It's a good one. and anybody, I think that's part of this card. Don't let people convince you that what your heart is telling you is wrong. Set your own boundaries. It will be worth the win in the end. And the moon message in here says, take a stance and hold fast to defend yourself and your interests. So it is about just doing what you want to do, regardless of what other people are saying about it.
Right. It's
And
again
from the heart, not just like willy-nilly.
Right. It feels like it's like that stepping away from the mass consciousness,
Right.
what the world's telling you should be doing, or what you need to do. It really is about being in our own driver's seat and taking up the mantle of, we already have the power. The Queen of Wands kind of validates that. We already have everything on board to manifest what we need in our life. And the Seven of Wands, again, just goes right along with that. So having resilience.
Right. Yeah, stand up for it.
Right. And like we often say, things may not turn out exactly the way you thought they were, but they always come out the way that we desire, so we may get too hung up on those expectations of how things should be, when in the end it ends up being something even more miraculous and fabulous.
Right. And that is such an important point. I mean, when you get to the idea of how we can do it, or I think maybe it's better to say what we can do with it, because you never know exactly how things are going to happen. And part of it is being open, going back to that infinity symbol, being open to the infinite to guide us.
Right.
And being open also, I think, with this Seven of Wands card, opening to your soul's full potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. I love that card. And I mentioned the word dignity. I really relate to that word. And it happened actually many years ago, long time ago. Philip and I, we actually met in a spiritual organization where the leader was the one who held the truth, and everybody was supposed to do what the leader said. And there were times when I felt that we were not treated with dignity, and others were not treated with dignity. It was cultish. And we didn't really buy into, I think, the cultish aspect of it. We bought into the more spiritual part of it, and we did eventually leave because of these kinds of things, because people were not valued as having their own inner calling that meant something, that had value. And I've always, ever since then, I've thought, and I think it's just generally true, everyone deserves to be treated with dignity.
Right. It's a human right. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that word really stood out for me. And I also look at that in relation to society in general, how some people, aspects of society, are put down by other aspects of society as not being worthy, or not being as good, or whatever it is. That is such a superficial way of seeing things, because people's gifts are so dramatically different, and all of us have something special to bring. When I think of creating a more loving world, part of it, such a big part of it, is to be wanting to create a world where everyone's gifts are honored and nurtured. So whatever it is, whatever that calling is in the Seven of Wands, that it is being nurtured rather than having to defend it. This card is here because we're in a place in society where we have to defend those things that are meaningful to us. And I just think, what would society be if everybody's gifts were really honored and nurtured? If everybody could freely bring their best, it would be so different, rather than, well, this is the best or that's the best. And if you're not, doing that, then you're not the best. Or if you're not the right color or the right gender or something, whatever it is.
Right.
It's just, I think this is really profound to me. Because manifestation, it is what our calling is, and it's also how society is responding to it. so much of that.
Right. Yeah, and what you're talking about reminds me of what you all teach about the creative plane versus the plane of, the plane of competition, essentially.
Right, the
We're on the competitive,
competitive plane.
sorry, looking for that word,
Right.
competitive plane
Sometimes.
versus the creative plane. And that's so true, but part of one of those first steps is to step away from that mass consciousness, and another step is to believe that you can do it, that it's possible for you. So
Right. And then in a larger sense, embracing that divine feminine energy, aiming for a world where everyone is nurtured.
Yes.
Everyone's gifts are honored and appreciated for what they are. Not for if they meet a certain person's preferences, because we all have preferences, but we have differences that also make society richer, more diverse. So, yeah, that it just to me that's more profound than I was expecting.
Beautiful.
But it is. That's the thing. I think when you look at astrological events like Lionsgate, they do bring up those societal kind of callings, or what societal lessons, where society is and what's happening, not just for us personally, but for us as a whole. And if we stand up for ourselves, you see, we're doing that for society as a whole too, even if it's difficult. We're contributing to that world that we want to create, that world where we can get our wishes on a star. Yeah. Okay, so with that, Gretchen, do you feel like you're ready to do the trip up to the Akashic Records?
Sure.
I'm going to go back to the other camera and the other view. I have to keep pressing all these buttons to get different places. So yeah, here we are. Okay, so everyone who's with us live or whenever you're here, the thing that you can do now is we're going to go to a mystical mountaintop, and you can go with us and have your own experience there. It's a higher place where you can get more of your own guidance about what we just discussed and what all of this means to you as a creator. So we'll start by closing our eyes, as always, and again, breathing in more of the most amazing love and light from the universe that you can imagine, because it is here for you. It's here for all of us. And as you exhale, releasing any tension that you might notice, any stuck energy. Just imagining it kind of melting down away from you. And then as you're breathing in, also imagine sending or with your intention, send back any energy that's not your own to where it came from, because we pick up energy from other people, places, and times. Just send it back lovingly. It may not all have been projected toward you lovingly, which is another reason you want to send it back. But we want to send it back so there's more space for our own energy, so there's more of us that can be present in this moment. And then similarly, bringing back any of your own energy that has been left in other places, with other people, other times. And you might feel that. I always feel it, which is so interesting to me. Can feel that energy coming in. So that brings more of you here in the moment. You might feel that, just that there's an ease of being present. And then breathing in lighter energy, opening to the love in your heart as your guide as we go up to a mystical mountaintop, a beautiful, beautiful mountaintop that's so high up that it's above the mass consciousness thought forms, all of those thoughts and ideas of holding each other down. We can rise above it to a place where we have the most magnificent panoramic view of the world imaginable. 360-degree view of the world. And somehow I see myself there with these with a telescope or lenses looking out, and we can see for miles and miles the glory of the earth. And just get a sense of that again, opening to your source of guidance and truth in your heart, the divine love that you hold in your heart, and allowing that to radiate out all around you, that love. And in the cells of your body, of course, too. The cells love love. And then from that place of holding that space of love in your heart, you can just reflect on what's important to you in this discussion. And Gretchen and I will go up to our Akashic Records and ask what is in here for us, for the collective, in the reading and in our discussion. And when you arrive, Gretchen, let me know if you're noticing anything or want to share anything. I'm feeling like that being from the wishing well is up now. He's up there actually touching the star. And I'm thinking, wow, I didn't know that I could go this far. And that might be part of the message too, that all of us can go further than we know we can go. We are more magnificent than we generally believe we are. Go ahead.
I'm seeing a path. I'm kind of in a different place than I normally am in my Akashic Records. So it's like I'm up in the clouds, just in this I can't really see anything below me, just this big cloud bank. But ahead of me is this path that seems to go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And it feels very, it feels like there are a lot of angels here. And I feel, in particular, I'm sensing Archangel Michael, and he's just kind of gesturing with his hand down this path, like this is a path of possibility. And when I was thinking about wishing on a star and what that would be like, I immediately went up into this cloud place, and it just feels there's not a lot there because it's like open potential. It hasn't been created or manifested yet. So to me, it feels it's very symbolic of, anything can lay before us. It's this clean path that's yet to be formed. And as a result of our manifestations, that's where we're going to be taken in life. What we're manifesting is where we're being taken in life. Essentially, we're following those things that we're constantly manifesting, and we're always making choices. But when we fully intend to bring good things into our life, to manifest the good things in life, this path can be beautiful and infinite. It can just go on forever. And to me, it just reminds us that this is all available to us. Create your path. It's like I'm hearing, go ahead, create your path, make it whatever you want.
Right.
And it's a blessing. There's a blessing of these angels all around us, supporting us, saying yes, yes, yes. It feels very yes, affirmative.
Right. And that feels so beautiful. I can just ask for everybody here to imagine yourself on a path like that, where it's just mystical and misty, and you can add whatever you want to this path that's taking you into the infinite. Just what would you want to add to your future? What is your heart calling you to add? Because you can do that now. It's like making your life a masterpiece. Like you have this whole realm or world in front of you, this open place of possibility that you can, and you can put in it anything you want. And you can take out things maybe that are not appropriate that you might be sensing or might have been disturbing you, imagining things that you don't want, and just remove those from the scene. So you might want to take a minute or so and just imagine being that creator and adding those things that are most valuable from your heart's perspective. And also, while you're doing it, be aware that you are surrounded by the divine. There are, as Gretchen mentioned, there are angels and masters and guides, and spirit guides, your own guardian angels. And you can call on them to walk with you or to light the path for you. To release. And this might be another time also. It's a time for releasing those things that are maybe burdening us. Just allowing ourselves to lighten up more as we move forward on this beautiful path. And this is a place you can also spend more time with or spend more time in. You can come here anytime and just imagine. There's that idea, Disney's idea of Imagineering. You just imagine your your reality ahead of you. Knowing also that the light of the divine is shining down always on you.
You said lighting your path, the angels are helping to light our path, and I immediately saw the path glowing like it was made from glowing pavers or glowing stones. It was beautiful, and I could see that stream of light all out before us.
Wow. Yeah, beautiful.
It's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to wait. That's what I'm hearing too. Go ahead. There's no need to wait.
Right.
You can do it right now. You don't have to wait for a better time or when you're in a better position in life, or there's so many things we do. We say, oh, we'll do that later. We'll do that when we get to this point, or we'll do that when we get to that point. And sometimes we just need to embrace the moment and just do it.
Right.
Go ahead. I keep hearing from Archangel Michael, go ahead, go down the path.
Right. Yeah.
It's that easy. Just go down the path.
Right. Yeah. And you can imagine having the freedom, the joy, whatever it is that you're wanting to create. What is it going to produce? Be that now, be that joy, be that freedom, be that power. I think this is another thing that I've been sensing a lot, for those of us who are moving forward and kind of ahead of humanity in general, to embrace the true power that we have, the true strength that we have, which is in us. It's not in controlling others. It's our own strength of understanding that we are creators on this path and that life is here for us. So embrace that now. Embrace those things that you want as if they are here. And especially from the states that they might create, because you're going to create more of what you are creating with the state that you're in now as you move forward. So again, let go of if you have a backpack with a whole bunch of heavy stuff on it, let it go now. If there's a ball and chain around your ankle, let that go. Release and embrace those things that are more enlivening to you and more joyful and more heartfelt. Yeah, this is the most beautiful path I've seen, I think.
Absolutely. It feels so freeing. You're using the word free, but it's so true. It's words that word has come, freeing, and freedom has come in this whole time for me. And I feel like that's just seeing that path that's nothing more than glowing stones and yet unformed. It's just beautiful. Just think of all the things that we can call onto our path and we can put there, and just like they say, shopping from the cosmic catalog, it's wonderful,
Right. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Like we
Yeah.
used to leaf through the Sears and Roebuck catalogs when we were little, Right.
Right.
I'm dating myself, but
Yeah.
Mm.
And so as we prepare to come back, also you can ask if one of the angels or guides has a gift for you now. They might hand you something. You might see a little treasure chest with something in it. What is it that you can bring back that might remind you of this and of the blessings of spending more time in this place? And then when you're ready, we're going to begin our journey back, just thanking all of these beautiful beings of light who are supporting us. And drifting gently down back where we came from, where you're sitting or lying or resting with your feet on the ground, imagining your feet firmly on the floor. So you're grounding yourself to Mother Earth and receiving also her love. And then breathing in more active energy, feeling that in the cells of your body. And if you feel like stretching or whatever, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Oh, that was really beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was lovely.
Yeah. Wow. So with that, I guess then um, the next thing, if anybody wants to have an addition to this reading, what I can do is add 2 cards for you for what you need to know and what you can do with it, do with this opportunity, and do with whatever it is that you find out. So anyone, I know there's a little delay, so we'll just kind of hang out for that. Did you have any other thoughts, Gretchen? That was really wonderful.
No, I'm never ceased to be amazed about just how encouraged we are, by our guides, by the beings of light, by the angels.
Mm-hmm.
They really do want what's best for us. It's just such a beautiful thing to encounter, and feel so blessed to have these experiences, where we're really shown it's so much simpler than we make it.
Right.
We have such a tendency to complicate things as humans, so
Mm-hmm. Right.
yeah.
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 And we put ourselves in a place where our potential is limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this the whole uh, idea of just imagining yourself rising to a higher place is a very powerful one. It actually works. I mean, if you imagine it, then it takes you in your own head to a higher place. You get a more expansive view.
Absolutely.
So I see Nikki and Sharon are both asking for one. We'll start with Nikki. So the card that we have here for what you need to know. Wow. This is a beautiful card. I love this. This is one of my favorites. The High Priestess. This is a major arcana card. And of course, major arcana cards are saying something important, and it is saying inner voice, which I take to mean listen to your inner voice. What do you think, Gretchen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a good time where we're working, especially with manifestation energy. I think it's really important to trust that inner voice, that intuition.
Yeah, it says this card reminds you to trust and believe in your own intuition and to gather all the facts. The card signifies purity and celibacy and love, but alternatively can be a symbol for secrets and hidden agendas, which also I guess is on the other side. And the affirmation is I trust my inner voice. Trust in yourself. So that's a beautiful message. And then what you can do with that. Oh, I have to put I'm seeing everything, but nobody else is. We'll do this. And then we'll switch to speaker view so you can see. So there's the high priestess and what you can do with it. And this is interesting. We have another wands card. A lot of wands here. This is something I like with this deck is the colors really show, you really notice the suits, and the suits may be more important than we give them credit for being. So the Six of Wands is about achievement, and it's also about celebrating your achievements. So let me see what it says here. The Six of Wands is one of the most positive minor arcana cards and is also a yes answer when you ask a question of the deck. It's interesting for manifestation. So if you follow your inner voice, the results are, it is saying, yes, that's a good thing. It shows good karma as you are rewarded for your hard work. Expect to triumph in all aspects of your life. You will gain deserved recognition for your achievements, so be proud and thankful and reflect on your journey. Count your blessings. Wow. You are victorious.
It's beautiful. This is cards for Nikki?
Yeah, for Nikki.
Way to go, Nikki. That's beautiful. It's a reading we would all love to have, but we can all take something from that too. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I always feel that when I do readings for other people or group readings like this, is that in a way, I think it's for her personally. And I think it's for all of us too, that look at this. I mean, who here wouldn't benefit from listening to your inner voice and understanding that if you do, you'll have more to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there you are, Nikki. You can let us know if you have any thoughts on that. I'm going to put these back and just to kind of start fresh. I'm going to shuffle again. See, I've got them turned all different ways now, which I don't mean to do. I want them all turned the same way. Now, that's one thing I love about the simplicity of this deck. You don't get too hung up in details. It's like the messages come out very simple.
Very straightforward. I love that. Yeah,
very straightforward. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Now I'm going to fan them out. And now we're looking, Nikki says, yes, yes, yes. Good idea, Nikki. Yeah, celebrate yourself. So here we have, this is the first one for Sharon. There's the second one right here. So I'm going to start here, and this card is, it's so funny. The Four of Wands. We're going to get all the wands by the time we're done with this. Then this one is celebration, and it is four is really about building a foundation. So the Ace 2 and 3, it's about starting on your journey to more of being of your aliveness, to embracing your energy, and then starting to actually see that coming into play and then celebrating. So that's the Four of Wands. Did you want to say something, Gretchen?
No, I think that's just a wonderful auspicious card.
Yeah. So this is a really great day for us.
Yeah.
This is a time of manifesting happiness, and you are on the right path to achieve your goals. This card signifies blessings as your angels are talking to you. There is a reunion of two souls within celebrations and parties. If you're single, now is a good time to broaden your opportunities. If you are in a relationship, it can signify the next step. You are at peace as your mind, body, and soul are aligned. This is a good time to travel and celebrate. And the star message is the universe and angels are blessing you. Beautiful. So now we'll see what we have for if you do that, what's going to happen. This is one of those ones that it's a challenge, but I see the challenge as opportunity. I always do. This is the devil. Obsession. And it is the way I would take it as a result of this card is that that allows you to release those things that are holding you down by being able to celebrate yourself. And maybe that you might want to focus on, okay, if you have opportunities and that there are gifts that are worthy of celebrations, how can you release any of those things that might be holding you back from being there? So the devil, this card indicates restrictive energy. Now is the time to break free from the roots of your addictions, or I would say those lower energies that are holding you back, as life is happier without them, for sure. Obsesses emotions towards people, feeling of being trapped in some way. And that is the idea of the devil, is also it traps you. It imprisons you. Try to see your inner strength and break free of everything that holds you back. So again, and Sharon says that speaks to me too. Mm-hmm. And I do think it's important. All of the challenges that are presented in the tarot are opportunities, because this is an opportunity really to continue with the celebration and to manifest those things that you wish to have. It's pointing out, if it's for you, that there's probably something that you do need to heal and release.
Right. I often perceive the devil card as just our shadow aspect.
Right. Yeah.
There's things that we need to confront in ourselves in order to have success and resilience, charisma, and celebrate all of that. I feel like all these cards go together on many levels. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's true. We also can't just focus always 100% on the light. And we started there. Well, Gretchen, that's one of the first things you mentioned about Lionsgate too, is a time of healing and growth.
Right.
So we need to look at the healing is about clearing those things that are maybe tying us down. And it's not to belittle ourselves in any way. It's the opportunity to take your next step more to being in that place where Gretchen took us in the higher realms, on that path where your whole future is before you, and then there are no limitations in it unless you place them there or keep them there. So, yeah. And of course, I think, again, we received, all of us collectively in these readings, received a lot of Wands cards, really to embrace that life energy and those things that give life meaning. So that was very interesting to me.
Yeah, these are great readings, and I resonate with all of them personally. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that we are really at the end of our time. It always goes so fast.
Yes, it does.
So as we're collectively also imagining that we're sending all the love and light that we're collecting and all the opportunities that we have for ourselves to intend them for everyone. Gretchen, would you like to share how people can find out more about what you're doing, things that might support them?
Sure. Thank you, Jane. People can connect with me on my website, spiraljourney.net. I have a lot of things you can engage with there. It has a comprehensive list of my services. You can also connect with me on Facebook at Gretchen Comer or Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services. And again, I'm also on Instagram. So feel free to reach out. I love meeting new people, and yeah, love connecting.
Wonderful. Thank you. And for Philip and me and Awakenings Institute, we are approaching the date of the next course in our spiritual guide certification program, which is about becoming your own spiritual guide using tools like the ones that we used here today, exactly like that. It's starting in September, towards the beginning of September. So, and you can find out more about it at tinyurl.com/spiritual course, as in class course. You can also find out if you're interested in a personal session. You can find out more about that at tinyurl.com/spiritual session. And we always give tiny URLs because our website is big. It's gettingthru.org, and there are many, many parts and pages. That's the overview of it, but this is just guiding you directly to something that might be of value to you. And while you're there, you'll notice probably that there are some free things that you can get, like we have a free resource kit for light workers, spiritual healers, and way showers, all kinds of things, a lot of information, blogs and such. So feel free to visit. And I guess with that, we're pretty much done. I do want to mention how you can support Soul Awakenings and our mission, really, of creating a more loving world. One thing is we appreciate your comments, so please let us know what you like because we can add more of that. You can follow our page on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Both of those are helpful to us, and I can put links to those at the bottom here of the chat. You can also share this video with your friends, which is really helpful to them, and it gives you something to, I know Sharon and Nikki are friends, so I'm sure that they have things to talk about after they're done, so that's helpful. And then invite friends to join you here next week. So here I'm going to give you URLs. Here's the YouTube. And that's for YouTube and for Facebook. And this one. So those are places you can find us or send people to. And the last thing that we do is send some of this love, the light, the freedom, the possibilities into your week ahead, and have a wonderful week. We hope we see you next time. So have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.